Oh, aha, look at that thing. Are they about to stuff lore into this again? Oh my fucking god. Hey, since I keep this channel ad-free, please consider subscribing to my other channel that I'll be moving to in the future. You can also donate to me on Ko-Fi or watch me live on Twitch and check out my live channel. So come follow and subscribe to me there. Links are down in the description. Thank you. Enjoy the video. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact reaction. I totally didn't have to redo the intro because I forgot to press record. We are going to be doing the 4.2 Genshin event called Thelxie's Fantastic Adventures. One day, you receive a commission from the Fontaine Fishing Association. In accordance with the commission's requirements, you and Paimon go to Arrhenius to investigate. The curtain rises on a wondrous new adventure. Is it now? Okay. Arrhenius, right here. Along with that fishing lady that can never catch fish.
That can't be right. Oh, but what if they're real after all? No, that can't be. But what if there's a chance?
What are we talking about?
I'm Delaroche, the representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. How can I help you?
Sometimes the NPCs really act like they have dementia. Ma'am, I helped you through your whole fishing training arc, and then you're acting like you don't know me. We received your commission requests.
Oh, so you're adventurers.
Oui.
Finally, someone has heard my prayers. See, the problem is that the fish around a fishing spot at Arrhenius have just all up and vanished recently.
Is it just me? Or like, her accent sounds similar to that one Melusine.
It seems Monsieur Nervalet was right. You really can eat.
Sedine.
They disappeared too quickly for it to have been the work of human anglers. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I had planned to go and investigate the area right away.
I swear that sounds like the same VA. I'm like 85% sure that's just Sedine, but voice acting a human. I mean, Sedine's VA is human.
As the representative of the Fishing Association, I have good reason to believe that the fish have gone missing due to an encounter with the water imps.
The what?
Our local fairy tales often speak of a terrifying underwater creature called Thelxie.
Okay.
The story our parents
So
would
that's
tell
the
us was
title.
always the same. If we went to the water alone, then we'd be snatched away and eaten by a water imp called Thelxie.
Doesn't that just sound like a story to scared children?
My father would always describe it as a beautiful, multicolored snake woman, while
Snake
my
woman?
mother said it had a handsome face.
Oh.
It's really strange, though, because you'd also hear other people describe it as just a chubby penguin with a deceptive appearance. Even though the tales vary regarding its appearance, everyone agrees that it's really dangerous. It lives in an underwater cave surrounded by pallid bones and uses its sensitive nose to track down lonely children who've lost their way.
Is this Thelxie just the mechanical penguin you see on the event art?
What if the fairy tale was inspired by a real-life tale, just like how a water vein always has a source?
Do you have any concrete evidence?
Well, I wouldn't call it evidence per se, but I've heard some rumors lately. They say that someone recently saw a child walk into the water as if he was possessed by something. Doesn't that sound just like he was responding to the call of a water imp?
Or it just could be Freminet diving, I don't know.
It's all hearsay, so it's hard to confirm. But still, they all say this happened on Arrhenius. That's no laughing matter if you ask me. Both the Opera House and the Fountain of Lucine were built there, and the sources of many water veins can be traced to the island as well. Combine that with the mysterious mist, the huge tree with expansive underground roots, and the rumor that the fish heps on the island can understand human language. Is it really so shocking that an island so shrouded in mystery could harbor a terrifying water imp as well?
We'll check it out.
Oh, marvelous. Then I'll just mark the stretch of water on your map. Don't forget that no matter what, safety always comes first.
Water Imp's Conjecture. Hi.
Is this the stretch of water Delaroche was talking about? It looks really peaceful. Huh? Look, there's some footprints over there.
Where? Oh. Wait. How? footprints don't remain if they're... These footprints extend all the way into the water. Yeah, how is it the footprints are retained? It's sand underwater, doesn't it? It washes it away.
These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find anything else. Wait! Did you hear something just now?
Gurgling noises can be heard coming from the water. The noises grow louder and louder until something emerges with a loud splash.
Bruh.
What is that? Don't come any closer!
Bruh.
Ah, it's Freminet!
Paimon? Traveler?
Hi, Freminet.
I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Wait, where could you have been diving? Do you see how shallow the water is? Bro's diving in a kiddie pool. What the hell? In kiddie pool level depths. What are you doing?
Freminet!
Did they really... Apparently Freminet taking off his helmet is too hard to animate.
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp. Thank goodness it was just you wearing your helmet.
We're investigating a water imp called Thelxie.
Thelxie, you say? How surprising.
You know that name too? Or do you know someone else is trying to investigate the water imp?
No, I think our situations are probably unrelated.
Then could you tell us about what's going on with you and why are you diving in such shallow water levels?
Sure, if that's in order.
But no, I'm just curious.
I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop and contacted me through the shop's owner. She has commissioned me to make a special toy.
Oh.
Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
It is a misunderstanding. Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp? Wait, hold on! Freminet, you never take commissions from other people!
Yeah, but she made a special request. But out of respect for her privacy, I can't really talk about it. She'll be coming over to check on my progress.
Oh, is that
shortly,
the NPC?
And I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that, she might be willing to share some information, and you'll be able to continue with your investigation.
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate. Our target isn't necessarily the water imp, though. We're primarily here to investigate the disappearance of the fish.
Maybe Clee's behind this. She's taking a vacation over to Fontaine. Freminet nods slightly and seems lost in thought after you tell him about the commission from the fishing association. Suddenly, his breath catches in his throat.
I think I may have connected the dots. These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. The pressure testing makes
And
a
it
lot of
scares
noise.
away the fish.
So, all that about the disappearing fish? Well, it was probably because of me.
Okay, so not a Clee problem.
Wait, so could that mean the child we heard about who walked into the water was also...
Just Freminet preparing for another day of work? That's what I said. It's just a big misunderstanding.
Oh yes it was.
Don't you need to report back to your commissioner?
Nope, that's not how it works. See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all figured out, even though we were just tasked with finding out why the fish had gone missing. If we tell them now that it was all just a misunderstanding, you can bet they'd just immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back.
We're just really experienced in all this kind of thing. That's all.
All right, I'll trust your judgment. Please follow me. I've made a makeshift camp over there.
Is that... Oh, is that Pear or is that Thelxie?
You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Thelxie! Oh. Oh, look at that thing.
Boom.
That's adorable. Look at the chubby boy. So chubby. Are we already started with the Morse code?
So that's Freminet's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town, he'd probably have become great friends with Pear.
Where's Penguin Town?
It's not really anywhere famous or important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Thelxie. Nice to meet you. Do you know how to say hello?
So Thelxie can talk? Look at this guy.
I wanted to install a language output module, but due to time constraints, I had to give up on the idea.
Isn't Morse code a language module too?
I have two other things I'd like your help with. The first is to do some integration testing on Thelxie's motherboard, to make sure he will be able to function properly in most situations. The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some colorful shells and coral, so I can craft a weapon for him.
A weapon?
A weapon? Will Thelxie have to fight?
Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand. Like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
A penguin with a sword.
What an imaginative employer! Naming Thelxie after a water imp, but wanting him to look like a prince?
Well, regardless of his role
How
or
interesting.
species, Thelxie's purpose is the same. Just like Pear, he has come to this world to serve as somebody's companion.
I mean, I'll give Freminet this. He's good at designing stuff. You know?
But anyway, the most important thing right now is for us to get to work. Maybe let's start by doing some testing on the motherboard. That sounds like something we can do here in the camp.
Right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
The motherboard is on my workbench, so please follow me.
So he managed to install like a Morse code module without knowing how to translate Morse code?
Here we want to give it a try? It's okay if you don't succeed immediately. I've got a lot of backup boards just in case.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out.
Sonamenaline. Seems to be a dose of medicine left by someone. There's a label on the bottom of the container with the word Destree written on it. Okay. Thelxie's development log number 1. Attempted to install a language output module for Thelxie. The output signal will use a similar cipher to the one used by the House of... Oh. The House of Hearth uses Morse code for ciphers. The benefits are twofold. Not only does the warehouse of the House of Hearth already have many spare old motherboards, this approach will make it language module compatible with Diving Helmet transcription module, allowing for quick and easy transcription and testing. As for the offset of the cipher, it will just be set to 1 for convenience. Thelxie's development log number 2. I've hit a snag. I plan to apply for a transcription module to use for Thelxie, and would have been the same one as the one used in Diving Helmet, but the warehouse is out of stock. Seems like I have to make one from scratch using the one I have referenced, so if I look into it, but it's unclear if I have enough time. I already spent more time than planned on this transcription module. The work on Thelxie's main body will be affected if I keep at this. I'll have to put it on hold. Although the Diving Helmet can still be used to decipher Thelxie's output signal, it'll probably be unintelligible to anyone else. What a pity. I'm sorry for not being able to give you a voice, Thelxie. Aww. That's rather big. Okay. It's one of these. Okay. It is our O'Malley.
Speaking of which, you're both already pretty used to Fontaine's underwater environment.
We're pretty much experts now.
That's good. Just let me know if you ever feel uncomfortable. I'll make sure to stay right by your side.
Use the
This is
echoing
it.
conch.
We call this thing an echoing conch. It can detect special reflection waves in the water to help us with all kinds of underwater exploration
that's
and
cool.
excavation efforts.
That's cool. Freminet's voice is echoing too. That's a nice detail. Pick up. Inscribed shell. 4 fathom 5 Thelxie of lies. Of his bones are corals made. Are they about to stuff lore into this again? Like some obscure but really important lore? Nope, that is not what I'm supposed to interact with. What am I supposed to... Oh, there she is. Oh. Oh. That bag of medicine was... Zurvia Destree.
Ah, Freminet, you're back. I thought you might have been out diving.
I'm sorry, Madame Destree.
Madame.
I must have kept you waiting. I can report, though, that the construction of Thelxie is going quite smoothly.
There's no rush. I'm your employer, not your supervisor. And these two are...
The people who saved Fontaine?
I suppose it's only natural for someone responsible like you to have some reliable friends.
I mean, we're friends with every playable character.
It's really nice to meet you, Madame Destree. Are you Freminet's employer? Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Hola.
Greetings, my new friends. Just call me Zurvia. You are both so adorable. The sight of you reminds me of little fairies under a cottage roof.
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure, that might apply for Paimon, but do I look like a fairy? Okay, that smile maybe.
Of course. If my child had friends like you, then perhaps he wouldn't have become so obsessed with the tales of water imps, and I wouldn't have had to trouble Freminet here with this commission.
Obsessed with the tales of water imps?
Ah, so you don't know anything about my request yet?
At least not in depth.
Then let me think of a way to put my situation into words. I'm sure you're already familiar with the tale of the water imps, right?
What the hell? I've never heard this OST. Did they make a new one? Just for the event?
Simply put, parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an effort to convince their children to stay away from the water. My child is rather special, however. While most other children are terrified of Thelxie, he's infatuated with him.
Infatuated? With a water imp? What a brave soul.
Yes, he told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood. In his mind, instead of singing to abduct children, the water imp actually sang out of a longing for companionship. As a result, he often goes near the water in secret.
Huh. So he wanted to become friends with the water imp so it wouldn't be lonely any longer? What a unique way of thinking.
Thank you, little Paimon. He indeed has always stood out from the crowd. He was actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years old.
Loneliness syndrome?
It's a type of mental disorder. Those affected by it often feel extremely lonely and lose interest in many mundane activities. The syndrome is probably what made him so determined to become friends with the water imp.
I'm sorry, but isn't that just depression? It just sounds like he's depressed.
If you were to become afflicted with the disorder, Paimon, you would only be able to say less than a fraction of the words you're saying to the Traveler now.
No! Paimon won't accept that! We would have to find a doctor to help cure Paimon. Paimon has a 2,000-word quota for daily conversations with the Traveler, and she won't settle for a single word less!
That's oddly meta, because you say everything I never say. If she becomes basically mute, our game would be a lot more boring.
The family doctor has already begun to treat my son, but since the disorder is rare, there aren't many good regimens for treatment. He's also developed some new symptoms lately.
Oh.
Such as uncontrollable delusions.
To put it simply, he can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality, and spends all his time in his fantasy world.
Then what is he seeing in his fantasy world?
It's a dream that he often mentioned to me when he was younger.
Too.
I've compiled what I could understand of his recent rambling. It goes a bit like this.
Jesus, that young? Once upon a time, there was a splendid and magnificent underwater kingdom of water imps on the Thelxie plain, 500 feet beneath the surface. Countless lovely water imps lived in houses made of rainbow shells and corals, tending to sea animals during the day and singing between fields of golden Tidalga during the night. Everyone led carefree and blessed lives until the day of the Iridescence Parade, the important festival during which the new king would be crowned. Before the festival, all water imps would select the most precious pearl they owned, wrap it in golden branches and leaves, and offer it to their most beloved prince. And during the day of the parade, the prince would cross a rainbow bridge made from all the offered shells, and accept the crown from his father amid the applause of his subjects. Finally, the new king would bless everyone with his well wishes. And as for the prince's name, it's none other than Thelxie.
Amazing! Your son came up with all of this? He really crafted a lovely fairy tale world for Thelxie.
So that's...
It's like a beautiful dream.
That's why she's commissioning the penguin.
But perhaps no beautiful dream can ever last long. You see, the story ended with a twist.
The day of the iridescent parade came as expected, but countless monsters also arrived alongside the prince. The monsters were evil and cruel, and they struck fear into all of the water imps' hearts. The water imps, adept at singing as they were, could not defend themselves against the monsters, so the kingdom fell, and the king was killed. The water imps were locked behind bars. The rainbow bridge lost its color and crumbled away. The prince was barely able to escape with the help of a mysterious masked individual, but he had already lost everything, and could only spend his days singing mournful songs. And just as the prince sang out of loneliness, so could his song only be heard by similar lonely children.
How could the story end like this?
Jeez.
Is that kind of fantasizing what caused your son to develop his loneliness syndrome?
Well, it'd be more accurate to say that it was the syndrome that caused such terrible delusions to manifest. But in any case, the biggest problem is the patient eventually loses themselves to the fantasy world of their own creation.
Yeah, what do you mean?
My poor child can no longer differentiate between imagination and reality. He's begun to see himself as Thelxie.
Oh, so you're commissioning the penguin to remind him that Thelxie actually exists separately. Like Thelxie's real, so that... Huh.
Perhaps in his mind, the loneliness he felt became the same as that of a prince who lost everything he ever loved or stood for.
Most of the time, he acts as if he can no longer sense or interact with the real world at all. I've had several discussions with the doctor, and we think it is best to try to guide his fantasy.
What, like bring it to a happy ending?
He once wanted to make a picture book of his imaginary world, but since the disorder progressed too quickly, he never quite got past the first page of the book. If we could use this book as a breakthrough for his condition. Here, you can take a look.
Ah, so Zuria's son also saw Thelxie as a penguin. Oh, he looks so sad.
That's a nice drawing for what it's worth.
What we should do now is help him complete this picture book. However, we'll lead the story to a different ending.
I figured.
One where the water imp prince is eventually able to restore his kingdom with the help of his friends.
It can help him mentally too, you know.
We'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow, and let him perceive a world full of hope again. That's what I mean by guiding his fantasy.
But if we just need to finish the picture book, why does Freminet need to make a Thelxie as well?
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously, as if it's a history of things that have really happened. We'll need to go on a journey like Thelxie, and help him regain his crown and country.
I actually thought this event was gonna be kind of more, you know, have a happy vibe, considering, you know, the penguin and such. I think I assumed too quickly. I just saw the design for the event page and hey, look guys, it's, you know, it's a cute penguin, right? What could be that bad for a cute penguin? Can we have something good happen to the Fontainians? Is it that hard to ask for?
My child can no longer go on a journey of his own. This is why I commissioned Freminet here to craft a Thelxie. And then I'll paint the journey with this Thelxie into the picture book. There are some ruins on the seabed of the Salacia Plains. I've already asked Freminet to research them for me. We'll be able to use one of the ruins as the kingdom.
I'll try my best.
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal. I believe in my son. We can just see this as him wanting to stay asleep for a bit longer because he's so enamored with his dream.
I'd say an illness like that is a pretty big deal. That's what the medicine was. Jeez, I thought it was for her, not her kid.
Keep your spirits up, everyone. If we were to look troubled, my son is sure to become anxious as well.
Fuck.
I should be heading back right about now to check on my son.
I'll try to stay as positive as I can about this, but that's some hefty news to drop on me.
Temporarily moved to a place on the hill over there, so my son will have a better spot to convalesce. It's not far from the water, and there's also a great view.
What, the house?
Feel free to come find me if anything urgent comes up. All right, everyone. Let's meet again in another 2 days.
What is it, Freminet? What did you want to say?
If you don't mind me asking, I would like the two of you to mentally prepare yourselves.
Mentally prepare for what?
This is the first time that you've met anyone with the syndrome, right? I know you two are both really strong and will do everything you can to help the child. But with the syndrome being the way it is, if things don't
work out,
if things don't quite turn out as we wish, I hope you'll be able to accept the outcome and not put too much blame on yourselves.
No, that's fine. I mean, we'll try our best at least. Does he have the loneliness syndrome too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Please don't misunderstand. I've never had it. I've just seen many cases of it at the House of the Hearth, back when we lived under the previous director.
Not exactly the best living condition
surrounding the development of this illness. I've heard everything from hereditary factors and one's state of mind, to environmental factors, and even ley line disorder effects. Some even say it could be caused by contamination from god remains.
Jeez. I mean, especially when you're being brought up to be trained as a Fatui operative, right?
And from the cases I've seen, there weren't many positive outcomes. In the worst cases, the patient could even pass away.
Better help him soon. Don't worry, I've seen all kinds of strange and difficult things in life. I mean, we've seen tons of loss already. We might as well prevent as many as we can.
Huh. How do you understand all of this so well, Freminet?
Well, maybe because I have also had many of my own dreams in the past. I even had my own fairy tale world, much like that boy's. I was able to draw a lot of support from it, so I believe in the power of fantasy worlds.
So the penguin town you mentioned was...
So you remembered.
Suddenly Freminet pulls out a diving helmet and puts it on his head. Huh?
Hey, why did you put that on?
Yeah.
It's just one of my personal quirks. Please pay it no mind.
Did we drain your social battery? I'm sorry.
Penguin Town is a peaceful place with lots of penguin residents. And Pear is the town's triumphant hero, as well as the one who quietly protects the whole place. I often think that Pear only came to me because he realized how much I needed him. So it's not so much that I made Pear, as Pear chose me as his friend. Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're viewing a whole different world from the outside. It's a very surreal feeling. Both alienating, but also as if you're being protected by something. I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet. In those moments, it's possible to see some truly wondrous things, as if a fairy tale has become reality.
I mean...
It's almost like a sort of miracle.
Underwater Fontaine is very pretty. Now I want to try on your helmet too.
Well, if that's in order.
Yeah, that's an
Hey,
order.
now's not the time! Freminet still has Thelxie's weapon to make. We don't want to bother him now.
Right. I still have to collect some tools I'll need to craft the weapon. I've got to finish everything before tomorrow. Thanks for all of your help. I'll be off for now. Let's meet up here again in 2 days.
Aren't ya? Okay, part 1's done. Whoa. Whoa. Wow.
Is your child feeling any better?
Thank you for your concern, Freminet. His condition is fairly stable. The family doctor said we might be able to take him out for a stroll today.
Zurvia, Freminet, we're here!
Right, they did mention that, like, they weren't staying that far, too.
Seems like everyone's arrived now.
Hey,
Thelxie! Whoa! Look at this man!
Whoa! Thelxie's got himself a sword and a shield now! He's looking sharp!
Thelxie Bannerway.
With his weapons in hand, Thelxie looks more formidable than ever. You've really outdone yourself, Freminet.
Zurvia just told me that she wants to end the adventure with the coronation ceremony. So, could I also trouble you with finding some materials for the crown?
Yeah, sure.
I was just thinking, since Thelxie has already shown us his brand new appearance, we may already be able to draw a new page in the picture book. What do you think?
Let me think. We can draw the weapon. The prince has picked up the Sword of Courage and the Shield of Perseverance, which proves he has crossed the mire of doubt and now is ready to wage war against the darkness.
Okay, I'll add the weapons. Anything else?
Paimon wants to give him some friends. Thelxie's got some friends by his side now, so he's no longer fighting alone.
Avengers, assemble!
Okay, I'll also draw some companions.
Oh.
Anything else?
Oh, it's just us. Don't forget to add some color.
Color. Ah, color, yes, that's really important. The road in front of him now will no longer be just grayscale, but bursting with color and hope. Who would have thought the page could have become so inspiring?
Ooh.
How wonderful. Splendid ideas, everyone.
Wow.
Are you seeing this, my son? Are you feeling inspired by this as well? I'm starting to look forward to it as well. So let's get the show on the road and head towards the Kingdom of Water Imps.
Prince's Country. Okay, so if we complete this and it unlocks the third part of the... Well, after some time you revive the short...
We shouldn't need anything else to head to the Kingdom of Water Imps.
That's a domain door. Assaulting the Water Imp Kingdom. The beautiful Kingdom of Water Imps is at hand. Warriors, together with Prince Thelxie, reclaim it from the monsters occupying it. It's combat. Oh fuck, Hydro Slimes? What's it? How's it look?
So these are the underwater ruins that Freminet found. They're pretty amazing, but still not exactly the kind that Paimon was imagining.
It's the same as the Misty Dungeon. This is the Kingdom of Water Imps, Paimon, not ruins.
Seems like the travelers already got the gist of things. You should do your best too, Paimon.
Don't underestimate Paimon. Paimon can flip the switch too. Now entering Paimon Fantasy Mode!
Bruh.
Young adventurers, 'tis Paimon, guardian goddess of
I've never
this
seen her do
land.
this.
State your goals and intentions for visiting this nation.
Paimon, please stop. The accent's not working.
We are the companions of Prince Thelxie, your Divine Highness. We have come to help him reclaim the glory that he has lost.
Oh, you're right. Foreshadowing much?
And as for this prince, the goddess will also bestow upon you the rainbow glory, so your future will always be filled with light.
My gratitude to your Divine Highness for such generous blessings. Power is now surging through every part of my body.
Me too. Is this the divine inspiration of legend?
Oh, thanks to the power of the goddess Paimon. It's a bit on the nose, isn't it? Goddess Paimon.
Forge bravely ahead and defeat the monsters that have taken over the kingdom. You will be sure to find that which you seek.
Yar, indeed.
Please be careful, brave adventurers. Just had some evil enemies that have invaded the kingdom of Water. They're called...
Those accursed enemies are back again. Your Highness, please show them what you're made of.
Wait.
We're under attack
I
again.
have no idea what is going on. Everything's so
There's
flashy.
no need to fear, my friends. His Highness is so strong.
I'm sorry. I did that too fast.
It should now be time for us to attend Thelxie's coronation ceremony. The only thing is,
I'm just that
I didn't
overpowered.
expect this to go so
Oops.
smoothly. It was my mistake. I should have told Freminet earlier that we would also need a crown.
It's okay, Zurvia. We can come back again once I've made the crown.
Then I must thank all of you again for taking the time. And you too, Thelxie, my child.
Thelxie's turning out to be a real expert at fighting.
I don't think there's anything that will be able to stop him. He's like a true prince now.
Yes, I agree as well.
Let's head back to camp for now. I asked the traveler to search for some materials on the way because I want to make the crown as soon as possible.
Freminet? Why don't we draw the new pages first? Paimon really wants to update the picture book.
You just want to see someone draw Goddess Paimon.
Hey, you didn't have to say it out loud.
After overcoming many obstacles, Prince Thelxie and his brave companions finally arrived at the entrance to the Kingdom of Water Imps.
That's pretty epic.
At this time, the little fairy in the group, Paimon, revealed her true goddess form to her companions.
The goddess has arrived! She praised the companions for their purity, and to reward them, she bestowed upon them many blessings, and even prayed that the prince would be able to fulfill his goal.
Bathed under the goddess's glory, the prince and his companions charged into the bastion of evil, chased away the monsters, and rescued the pretty water imps from their imprisonment. The prince finally managed to reclaim his kingdom. But as for the crown...
The crown was within the prince's reach, but the monsters took it with them as they fled. They haven't given up and are sure to return, but the prince is certain to reclaim the crown the next time they fight. The brilliant rainbow shall descend onto the kingdom once more.
This is definitely done on purpose.
Whoa, the pages are beautiful.
It is.
Zurvia is really talented at drawing.
Thank you, everyone. We've also completed the second page of the picture book now. Thelxie's journey is one step closer to its end, and the promised coronation.
You could totally see the Hilichurls as the Abyss, right?
My child, you'll also be able to brighten up when that time comes, right?
I'm sure he will, Zurvia. Who knows? Perhaps the doctor will already have some good news for you when you get back home today.
I sure hope so, Your Divine Highness. Oh, Freminet, about the time you'll need for the crown.
Please don't worry. One day should be more than enough.
Then I must thank you for your hard work. All right, let's rendezvous here in another 2 days' time for our
we're already
final
done
adventure.
with day 2.
Okay?
Sounds good to me.
And see you in 2 days, my lovely friends.
Alright, it's about time we start heading off too. You've still got some work to do, right, Freminet?
Yeah, I'll need to go to the city shortly to get some parts for the base of the crown. I want to try out a few different designs and choose the one that looks the best.
Freminet is really dedicated. Freminet is working really hard.
Yeah. Paimon knew that you didn't often take commissions from others, but Paimon had no idea you'd be so dedicated once you're on the job.
I mean, I guess one of the reasons is that he can relate to the kids.
Well,
Hardly.
about that, it might be because...
Well, you both had fantasy worlds you dreamt of, right?
Because what?
It's because... I hope...
You're blushing? Alright, helmet time. Whoop.
Am I turning red?
Yes, you are. Actually, it's really, like, obvious.
Okay, thank you. See you in 2 days.
You put on this.
I hope that everyone who's
Gotcha.
found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.
Yeah, are you actually there? Hello? Inscribed shell 3. The sea goddess hath rung his knell. Ding dong, hark! Now I hear them. Ding dong bell.
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must be the doctor then. Whoopsies. My bad. Oh, okay, it just triggers the thing.
Thelxie, we're here!
Hello, Paimon. Hello, traveler.
Is the crown ready?
Yes, we're just waiting for Zurvia now. She hasn't arrived yet.
Hey, traveler!
Oh, shit.
Paimon?
Oh, and speaking of...
You, again.
Found you two at long last. I'm so glad that you both are all right.
Huh? Why are you here, Miss Delaroche? And what could have happened to us?
What could have happened? That water imp Thelxie, of course. After I gave you that commission the other day, I began to get worried and went asking about the boy that went missing.
Oh, that? We've got it all figured out now. The boy you heard about was just Freminet. Even the missing fish was his fault. Don't worry, we'll help you get the fish back as soon as we're done with this job.
Oh, sorry about that. I've been diving in the area recently.
Freminet? Diving? No, that's not what happened at all. I've heard a completely different account.
What?
What I was told is that about a month ago, a child tied a bunch of heavy seashells onto his body and walked into this open stretch of water. He never came back. What could that be if not that water imp's work?
Are you sure?
100% sure. I've confirmed the account with several veteran fishermen I know. The child was only 8 years old. His name was Lescot. Lescot Destree.
Wait, Lescot Destree?
My child had friends like you. He's only 8 years old. Condition is fairly You too, Thelxie, my child.
Wait. Oh, God. That's why she's going to such lengths to recreate the oh my fucking God. There is no son, 'cause he passed away already. He already gave in to his fantasies. This is just a way of helping the mother. Are you serious? This is not what I expected from a goddamn... You know the title art for the events, they really let your guard down, don't they? Are you kidding me? He's dead? I was already complaining about, oh God, can Fontaine people have it easier, please? You know, we solved the big conflict, and there's still this type of stuff happening. But then, oh no, turns out, not only is the son diagnosed with a syndrome that basically makes him hallucinate as it gets worse, she hit the fact that he drowned himself already.
Yeah, that's the name. They say the family took on the name after moving to the city from a place called Stray. Anyway, his mother is a pretty famous art dealer, while his father passed away from an accident many years ago.
She's by herself.
Well, naturally, his mother was devastated by the incident and fell terribly ill. It's said that she left the court of Fontaine, and no one knows where she's gone.
It can't be, right? Lescot Destree? Zurvia Destree? It must be some sort of a coincidence?
Who's the doctor then? Who's the doctor that's pretending that there's a kid there? No! The doctor's not for the kids! Wait, so the medicine bag at the near the box was still happens to be Zurvia's. She's probably taking medication. God damn it, this game. I don't know if I want to keep playing this game anymore. I don't know if I can emotionally take anymore. I'm just saying. Like, have we even have anything happen that's like remotely happy in Fontaine? Well, I guess it's my fault for assuming that this was going to be happy. My fault for thinking that Fontainians could catch a break after 4.2's finale.
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Is this Madame Destree's place?
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
The door opens after a brief moment.
This is the residence of Zurvia Destree, and I am Jala Khan, her family doctor. What did you mean by your question just now? Who else could be my patient?
It's the mom. She's terminally ill, she's depressed, of course she needs a doctor.
Your patient should be Zurvia's son, right? She told us herself that her son had contracted loneliness syndrome.
Could you guys not tell from the context drop we just got from the fishing lady? Her son's gone.
No, you're right. Young Master Lescot did have that illness once upon a time, but well, the young master's no longer with us. And now the Madame has come down with the same illness. Are you her friends by any chance?
You informed the doctor of all that's happened in a few days.
So, when she had requested time to go out over the past few days, it was so she could spend them with you.
So she was forcing herself to go out there, because I'm pretty sure in her condition she should not be outside at all. Well, meanwhile she's doing all that, putting up a front and acting like everything's all dead. Oh god.
So, if I'm understanding this right, the one who's suffering from uncontrollable delusions is the Madame herself? She believes her son is still alive?
That is correct. When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she had specifically prepared for him. But since she had to leave the house, she was unable to see her son one last time.
Oh no, she wasn't even there. She couldn't even do anything.
That might have been the trigger for her regret. Or perhaps the family's fall into loneliness and grief was inevitable as soon as the old master passed away. First the son, and then the mother.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But you're saying she...
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
That's what she calls Thelxie, my child.
So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
Do I want to ask how Zurvia is now? She's clearly not okay.
She has been in a good mood the past few days, even humming a song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing with me the idea of using deliberate guidance to ease the illness. It was all going well, until last night. She spent a whole night staring at the shell the young master left behind, and the words that he had inscribed onto it. Then she broke down once more. I prescribed some sedatives, and she's currently resting.
That's the shell we read. Can we even write a happy ending out of all this? At this point?
Don't panic, Paimon.
What can we do?
Even though this is a devastating piece of news,
I mean,
we
yeah,
must all
sure.
calm down first. What should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth and the children who lived in it. Those patients and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jalakon, have you seen a picture book? The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? It's worth a shot. I'll go get the book.
The doctor quickly retrieves the book and hands it to Freminet.
Yes, this is it. If what Dr. Jalakon said was true, the past few days have been very helpful to Zurvia. So we should complete this journey.
If it even helps in the slightest, I guess.
We need to show her that her child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
This might help her move on.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
I mean, I don't blame her. She first loses her husband, and then just loses her kids, and she probably blames herself more for her son's death, because she wasn't there.
Before
she couldn't
today,
do anything.
I had thought she wanted to use Thelxie's fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself. And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again.
You know what? Remember that seashell we read in the sea? I was like, why is one in the water while the other one's on the table? It's the seashells he Yeesh. It's the seashells he brought with him that he drowned with.
There's no time to waste. Let's set off right away.
God damn. Assaulting the Water Imp Kingdom once more. Evil never sleeps, and has secretly smuggled away the crown that rightfully belongs to Prince Thelxie. Warriors, defeat the abominable thieves and take back Thelxie's crown. A lot of money in two because...
Again. This is the final part of Thelxie's journey, but the most important person is missing.
Oh. Aww. He's asking for maman. Well, she's not here. I'm sorry, Thelxie.
Everyone, please don't be so down and gloomy. Remember what she told us? If we were to feel troubled, the patient would become anxious as well.
You're right. Paimon needs to smile. If we have to give something to Zurvia, it should be our smiles. We have to keep smiling as we finish this adventure.
I'll try my best. Yeah.
Be careful, brave adventurers. Here come the evil monsters that stole the crown. Let's eat these cyclops. Let's eat.
Watch out, everyone! They're coming at us again.
There's no need.
You know what?
Prince Thelxie looks
I'll let the dialogue
today.
run a bit.
He
I'm
must
killing
be
them too
going all
fast.
out. Oh, this is the final enemy, right? We'll reclaim the crown for you now, Your Highness.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I made a promise to my friends, and I'm already very late. Don't try to stop me. Today's the most important day for treating Thelxie. We'll use the guidance method. Didn't you also say that you'd think it'd work?
I'm not trying to stop you, Madame. It's just... Could you tell me the name of your child?
Dr. Jalakot.
Lavender melon.
How can you forget the name of your own patient?
White lavender melon.
His name is Thelxie. He's the prince of the kingdom of water imps. We will go today to reclaim his crown and attend his coronation ceremony.
Madame, please rest assured, everything is still on schedule. Your friends have already departed to find... Wait, look.
Sorry, we're
They've
done
already
already.
returned.
Zurvia! We've retrieved the crown!
Paimon, everyone.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yes,
We
but the
have.
coronation ceremony still hasn't taken place. Because we felt like you should be the one to preside over it.
Wonderful. How wonderful. Thelxie, my child, are you hearing this? Everything you lost will now come back to you, and soon, very soon, you will never be lonely again.
And the last page of the picture book.
Okay.
It's still waiting for you to illustrate in color.
Right.
Well, you are a
The
good
picture
artist.
book. The picture book.
Because that's what she
But
does.
I don't know what I should put on the last
course.
page.
This one is just...
Don't worry, Thelxie and his friends all know what should go on it. Get ready, Zurvia. We'll describe everything for you.
Okay.
At last, Thelxie and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters.
They're playing this
and
music
achieve a
too.
dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the recovered crown resplendent.
The water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love
Why
and
is-
applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the prince and reconstructed the rainbow bridge of old. As he watched the scene unfold, the prince could not help but be touched by its beauty.
Moved by everyone's happiness, the prince stepped onto the rainbow bridge and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, Goddess Paimon, Freminet, and... Where's the last person? The prince looked frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. At that moment, the person suddenly appeared on the other side of the bridge. She walked towards him with a smile and slowly lifted her veil.
The prince could not hold back his tears. He recognized then that the mysterious person that had been by his side the whole time was none other than his mother. Zurvia walked across the bridge and placed the crown above the prince's head. She smiled down upon him as she said, "My prince, my king, you shall never, ever need to feel lonely again.
That's the end of the story, Zurvia.
Thank you. Thank you all. I am so sorry, my child. Maman should have spent more time with you. Did you hear the story? You'll never have to feel lonely again.
He's repeating I love you, Mom. Oh.
Maman loves you too.
Quick, put on my diving helmet. There's a transcription module
I already
that's
know what he's
compatible
saying.
with Thelxie's output signals. You should be able to use it to understand what Thelxie's saying.
Freminet walks up to you and puts this on. So that's what Thelxie's saying.
Maman loves you too.
But I love you more, Maman.
Wait, what is this?
What? Did you see something?
Maman, I'm getting a little sleepy. If it's time for bed, can you hum a lullaby to me again?
Of course, my dearest child. As long as you want to hear it, Maman will always hum for you.
She can barely hold it together.
Thank you, Maman. Your lullaby has always been my favorite. Now that I've heard it, I can return to my dream and to the kingdom of water imps in peace.
My poor darling. Please don't forget. I will always love you. My love is greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps.
I won't forget, Maman. And so is my love for you. Greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps. Good night, Maman.
Three days later at Freminet's camp.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Freminet! Why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear something from Zurvia?
They even made a
If it's
custom
not
music
good news,
track for
Paimon
us.
doesn't want to hear it!
Don't worry, it's definitely great news. The Madame came here for a visit just now with her doctor. Color has returned to her cheeks, and she sounded full of energy as well.
God.
She said she'd like to return to the court to continue hosting the art exhibit. But this time, she'll work with her doctor to exhibit some picture books related to the illness. Of course, Thelxie's fantastic adventures and the guidance therapy will be included in the exhibit as well. She'd like to use her experience to help others.
That's wonderful! So it wasn't bad news after all.
Here, please take this picture book with you. The Madame wanted you to have it. If at some point in the future you were to run into someone with similar troubles, she hopes the book would be of use to you. Paimon, do you know what the Madame said? She said that at the moment when she placed the crown on Thelxie's head, she felt like she really saw something beautiful. Her child had returned, and he told her that he loved her. She also said that was when she was finally able to bid farewell to her son. She felt like at that moment, she was healed by some mystical power, and she was filled with courage from head to toe.
Oh, really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy?
Perhaps. But if fantasy is just fantasy, and the fantasy world is not real, then how could it still grant us these powers that we can continue to use in the real world?
Perhaps fantasy is not just fantasy after all.
But what else can it be?
A descent of the fairy tale world into the real world. At that time, the wondrous fairy tale temporarily became reality and influenced real things in our world. That has to be what happened. You saw it too, didn't you?
What? That can't be what happened, right? There's just no way. Wouldn't it be like a miracle if that really happened?
Yes, I suppose that would be a miracle. I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.
Bruh. Oh, God. What the hell? The last part's kind of interesting, though. It's just it's still so tragic, you know what I mean? In no way did I expect them to go on such a dark route with the event story, but they did. Sure, they wrapped the story up nicely, at least. It's just awfully sad to top it all off. I guess the last part, y'all remember, for those of you that did the world quest, right? The Narcissus Crites. How like Oceanids have this imaging ability, right? If they wished for something hard enough. I think, well, I know New Villette turned all the Fontainians into true humans, but just maybe a little bit of Oceanid still remains in them, because everyone was able to see her son. This is just an event story, but Jesus, dude. An event that looks like this, of all things, you'd never imagined them to, like, oh no. It changes. It's not Thelxie anymore, it's just her son. Sure. Way to rub it in. They even changed the event art to update it with the ending of the story. You're kidding me right now. It's just so sad. Everything about it is just a prince who lives in the azure depths, who steps forth to lend aid to those in trouble. A lone dream miracle. Such a colorful furnishing too. You can go right in front here. With New Villette, with Monsieur New Villette. Aww. That's just cute. That's been a very heartfelt and emotional event quest. Completely not where I thought it was gonna go. But it's good. It's good for how they wrote it, how they paced it, because it shocked the hell out of me. I mean, I do hope Fontaine gets more happier as time goes on. They deserve to be happy. Maybe it's just for 4.2 for now. Surely they'll make it more cheerful. For how short this event quest was, it's really good. I applaud them for it. That has been my reaction to Thelxie's event story for 4.2, titled Thelxie's Fantastic Adventures. Hope you guys well, I can't say enjoyed. I'm pretty sure none of us enjoyed that. Thanks for watching my reaction with me for this event's story, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.